Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Cooper Becklin. How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going really good.
So let's talk about just, of course, you're a driver you were in FR Americas last year. So kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, I'm 18 years old. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I drive for the 19 car for Kiwi Motorsports in FR, and yeah, I'm just trying to make it in racing right now.
So let's usually since this is the first time you've been on here, and so just kind of talk about how you kind of got into racing.
Yeah, so for me it was a little different. My dad used to race motorcycles for basically all his life. Got in a bad wreck in the middle of the desert, probably a year or two before I was born. And the second I was born, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna put him in four wheels." So he put me in go-karts from the age of 3.5, and then did pretty good in go-karts. Nothing like crazy at all. But it was Team USA and went to South Garda to compete for Team USA in 2019. And then kind of made my way into the whole car scene after that. Started with F4, then got invited out by Richard Milley to go do their F4 test at Le Mans. And then we did F4 US for one race. Unfortunately, got into a bad wreck, totaled my car, and then now we're doing FR.
Yeah. So like, what is FR Americas for people that might not know?
FR Americas is it's technically an F3 car. I don't think we're allowed to call it F3 because I think it's like too confusing, is what the FIA said. But it's basically an F3 car, so it's a Honda Civic Type R engine and a Ligier chassis. I'm pretty sure. I think it's Ligier. Um, and it's basically just F3. It's not like the FIA F3 cars. It's a little more calmed down. Doesn't have all the little bits and pieces that they have over there in Europe, but it's still a good. It's a good car. Gets up and going.
Yeah. So how do you feel like just kind of talk about how your season went for you?
So last year was okay. It was kind of my rookie season in FR. So we struggled. I struggled as a driver for the first half, and then got a really good race in a rain race. Got my first podium, and then after that, about midway through the season, really picked up. Started getting faster, more podiums. Got another second at VIR, and just kind of struggled at first, and by the end of the season was up to speed, and hopefully this year going for a championship.
Yeah. So like just kind of talk about what some of the tracks that you guys run at. What are some places that you're looking forward to running at?
I'm definitely looking forward for Virginia again. It's my one of my favorite tracks that we have, with the fast up the hill through the S's, and that long back street that they have is really amazing. And then obviously Coda, you can't be upset about going to Coda with the level of track it is there. It's pretty amazing to be there.
Yeah. Um, you know, kind of let's talk about like how you get ready for a race. Like what do you do?
For me, it's a lot of mental stuff. I mean, it's a lot of people like to chill out, like kind of be on their own, listen to music. For me, I like to be in the social presence of people beforehand, so I'll be very talkative. I'll just kind of I don't do the whole like big like set myself into a mood in music wise and like kind of like be by myself. I like to be like talking to people and making it all like an exciting thing going in the race. So I'll have conversations and all that stuff. I'll get ready. I'll get myself ready, obviously. Um, but I think it's a little different for me compared to other people.
Yeah. Just overall, like really kind of talk about. I know what are your. Do you know what you're kind of going into? What are your where are we going to see you in 2023?
Definitely in the FR schedule. We're trying to figure out some other stuff. We have kind of plans, but not full on like full set plans. But we're in the talks with some maybe endurance stuff, maybe some road to Indy stuff, but definitely for sure full season FR with Kiwi.
Okay. So what's it going to be like returning to the same team that you were with last year?
It's definitely gonna feel good. I mean, I'm happy I'm with these guys because they're a great bunch of people. They've really helped me progress. So I'm really happy I'm sticking with them, and I'm happy that they want to work back with me.
Yeah. Um, what's your favorite track to go to?
So for me, it'd be the track right down the road from me. Really, it's PIR Portland International Raceway.
Jeez.
I love that track. I have track records there in a spec racer. It's not like a little car, but it gets it done. But I think that is my favorite track with how fast it is. It's very simple. It's kind of just like two chicanes and two normal turns, but it's to me it's a very special track. It's fun. It's different. It's different than a lot of tracks. So
Yeah. And also, besides that, you just graduated high school, and you're also going to community college right now.
I am, yes. So I'm going to a community college right down the road from me, and then hopefully transferring to OSU later this year.
Yeah. Of course, that is, yeah, it will be fun. Of course,
Mhm.
Oregon State University is kind of, there's a lot of OSUs in the country, of course.
Yes, Oregon State University. Yes,
Of course, a lot of people also refer that as Ohio State. So,
yes.
um, all right. So now trying to balance, the racing season, which is many people say, it's more than obviously the normal person expects, but it's not really because there's not a lot of race weekends.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not easy with how much there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes with racing. It's not just like, oh, show up to a weekend, you're there. There's a lot of prep and stuff. So it's definitely not the easiest thing, especially with trying to do college work and racing. And then like for me last year, I also did track and field. So it was also a big thing to kind of handle. But I mean, as long as you're just putting in the work, I mean, it's not terribly hard to get all your stuff done, get it ready, but it's definitely not easy.
So where is the end goal for you?
For me, it's hopefully IndyCar. Um, I mean, any type of professional racing at the end of the day is professional racing to me. But like my main goals as of right now is to make it to IndyCar.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to know you like outside of racing. What do you like to do?
So for me, I'm really into cars. So like building cars, modding cars, the whole like car scene. Um, and then I was a multi-sport athlete, so I also did track and field. So I like to go, I like to jump. I'm a high jumper, so I like to do all that type of stuff. But it's a lot of cars. Like I'm really into cars. So
And finally, maybe what is something people might not know about you?
um, something people might not know about me would be I was a Oregon State high jump or not or yeah, I guess Oregon State high jump champion
Really?
2 years ago. So I jumped 6'6".
Nice.
So it's not super impressive, but it's enough to get a state championship. So
All right. Well, Cooper, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck this season. We'll catch up with you when you obviously have some more news to share.
yeah, thank you for having me.